thanks for turning on the video and checking it out. My name is John Orndorff, been training for forever, and I'd like to welcome you to our NAMAI class training video. This is...
my name is Alex Wall. I've been training for 13 years.
And we're going to run you through some class stuff today, okay? So we're going to start with a warm-up. So we'll start with hands on the hips. We'll do a neck roll. I want to thank you for, again, taking the time to watch. If you are doing this for class, make sure that, head up and down, make sure that you let us know by responding in some sense that you have watched the video and participated. We also like to get that video feedback, so if you can send us a video, that would be great too. I know this is kind of an awkward situation with the whole COVID-19 virus going around. Let's do a jog in place. But we're making our best with this to make the best of it, and I appreciate you participating. All right, let's do some jumping jacks. And switches, switching those feet. Go to knees up. Kick the feet up behind. So let's get that warm up moving. Parents and families, kick the feet up to the side. It's wonderful if you want to participate. And switches. We're going to do some stretches. We're going to start with a standing hamstring stretch. Keeping the front leg straight, bending the back leg, and sitting into that stretch so you can feel it in the hamstring. Usually about 10 seconds or so is good on those each side. But again, make sure you consciously feel that stretch happening in your hamstring in the back of your leg. Let's do a calf and a chest stretch. So planting the back heel down, grabbing the wrist, taking the arms behind you, just pulling your shoulders back so your chest is getting a good stretch there. Now we'll go to the other side with the calf, and let's stretch the back this time. So grabbing the wrist and reaching forward. Let's do that first side again. Stretching the chest, arms up. Take the arms up so you get a little better stretch on the pectorals. That's the chest muscles. And let's go to the other side again. The back stretch, reaching forward. Okay, another thing, actually another stretch. Let's go into a center stretch. Take the legs out, hands on the floor. Also, side splits are real good for this kind of training. So your back knee is down, your front foot is up, hands on each side of your body. Of course, you do one side, you want to do the other. So just hit that other side. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring it all the way up. Now we're going into some self-defense combinations today. And when we say self-defense combinations, it's exactly what we mean. We use them for self-defense. So, these are great things to practice. They're very simple and effective. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Mr. Wall demonstrate, so I'm going to ask him to come up here. And we're going to start with self-defense. Actually, why don't you go ahead and run through all the self-defense combinations, sir?
Yes, sir.
We have 1 through 8 that he's going to run through today. So go ahead, sir, if you would. 8. We're going to break them down one by one. And we're going to start with self-defense combination number 1, okay? So with this today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus first on targeting. So with the self-defense combinations, we want to make sure we're correctly targeting with each strike, because the better we target, the more likely they are to be effective in our self-defense if we ever have to use them. So if you go to sparring stance, that would be great. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run through the self-defense combinations. We're going to do them one at a time. And, you know, this is good practice for everyone, but black belts, it's even better practice for you if you go through them not just with the left lead, but also with the right lead, working for the opposite side. Okay, so when we do this, kind of think of that or work that training into the exercise, okay? So from here, we're ready for combination number 1. We're going to start with a palm heel strike to the chin. And then we're going to do a left leg, which is our lead leg, side kick to the knee. And then we're going to do a right elbow to the side of the chin. Okay, so one more time. Left palm heel to the chin, left leg side kick to the knee, and then right elbow. And that's combination number 1, okay? So, my suggestion would be to practice that. And we'll move right into combination number 2. So combination number 2, we're going to jab to the front of the chin, right elbow to the side of the chin, and then we're going to do a rising kick, okay? Rising front kick. Okay, so let's do that again. So we've got the jab, got the right elbow, and then the rising front kick. There we go. So that's combination number 2. Next, we're going to cover combination number 3. That's the front leg roundhouse kick. We're going to do a jab to the chin, hook to the chin, and then another right leg roundhouse kick, okay? I'm sorry, I better explain that roundhouse kick goes to the knee, okay? So, we're going to do it one more time, combination number 3, front leg roundhouse kick to the side of the knee, left jab to the front of the chin, right hook to the side of the chin, and the left leg roundhouse kick in this combination number 3. Combination number 4, we're going to do a back fist to the bridge of the nose, reverse punch with the right to the front of the chin, and then we're going to chamber up for a right leg side kick to the solar plexus. So that's combination number 4. Combination number 5, we're going to do a double jab moving in to the chin, okay? From here, we're going to do a right leg front kick to the solar plexus, setting it down in front. We're going to fire a right hook to the ribs and a left uppercut underneath the chin. Okay, so that's number 5. Now we're going to do number 6. Number 6, we're going to fire the back fist to the bridge of the nose again. This time we're going to do a right hand straight punch to the solar plexus. And then from here, a right leg inside out crescent kick, and that's intended for either the chin or the temple. Okay? Next is combination number 7. We're going to do a spinning back fist, and that goes to the temple. Then we're going to do a left leg low roundhouse kick to the side of the knee. We're going to set it down in front, and we're going to slide up and fire that same leg as a side kick to the solar plexus. And finally, number 8, we're going to do the jab to the chin, reverse punch to the chin, and then a right low roundhouse kick to the knee. Set it down in front. We're going to step through with the left, fire a left elbow, then we're going to fire a right elbow, and those are both to the side of the chin. And then we're going to grab behind the head, do a clinch, and pull the head in for a knee to either the solar plexus or the chin, depending on your particular target area with that exercise. So, like I said, black belts, don't just work it from left lead, work it from right lead. And if any of those are your requirements, you know, yellow belts, you're working on combinations 1 and 2, practice those. Orange belts, combinations 3 and 4, and so on, okay? We want to make, and I guess those are the combinations they should know, so I better be more specific than that. If you're a white belt, you need to know 1 and 2, okay, for your next belt. For yellow belt, you need to know 3 and 4.
Yes, sir.
And orange belt, you need to know 5, okay? Purple belt, you need to know 6. Green belt, you need to know 7. High green, you need to know 8. Now, previous are important, so don't forget about those. So make sure you hit those, okay? So what we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to take, I don't know, probably 10 minutes to practice them. My suggestion would be that you do at least, on your testing combination, you should do at least 30 repetitions. okay? And that means through the whole combination, okay? Focusing on that targeting area. If you focus on it, it'll stick with you a lot better and you will improve dramatically, okay? So take that time, let's get those reps in, and just go ahead and turn this off for a few minutes to get those reps in, and then we'll see you here shortly. Thank you. Okay, so we're back again, and we're going to look at the combinations again. I hope you got lots of practice in on that break, or on that break for us anyway. It's not a break for you. You're supposed to be working hard. Also, accountability is wonderful. So it's good if you have a training partner here, maybe mom or dad or brother or sister or whoever you train with or are around outside of the school can help you, okay? They can give you feedback on how you look. Also, video. Video is great for that as well. You know, we'd love to see return video on how you're performing, so that way we can give you some input and help you improve. So we're going to go through the combinations again, but this time we're not going to focus on target as much as I want you to focus on foot position, okay? Hand position doesn't seem to be a big deal, but foot position is one of those things that we sometimes struggle with the control, okay? So, Mr. Wall, if you go to sparring stance again, we're going to run through self-defense combinations. So number one, he does the palm heel, and then he does the side kick. He works on chambering and getting the foot in position on the chamber. So if you could do that again, sir. So when he does the chamber, he gets the foot in position. And that makes it a lot easier to keep that foot in position from that point on, instead of having to try to get it into position while you are extending the kick, okay? So you want to get that foot in good position. So for this side kick, we're pulling the toes up so we get the edge of the foot out there on the strike, okay, or on the kick. Okay, so make sure you're working on that with combination number one. Combination number two, very easy. Rising front kick, we're just going to point the foot like a ballerina, okay? So, and make sure you chamber, make sure you get a good chamber. But it's just a rising front kick, okay, to the groin. Number three, another relatively easy kick, but sometimes what we have trouble with is the angle of the kick. Okay, we want to make sure we're driving straight in. So when he does that kick, it's like he's going to kick me right in the side of the knee here. Okay? Okay? And driving straight in, like you're driving a nail in with a hammer. Okay? So those kicks should be going straight in to the side of the knee. Still with foot pointed. Okay? Number four. Side kick. Same idea. Have the foot in good position on chamber. Okay? Thank you, sir. Number five. Number five is a push kick. So bringing the foot up and knee up high and then extend, okay? Yep, and letting it drop in front. And a good slide with that helps, okay? As you're sliding in and extending that leg. So knee up and then just push out, okay? That's five. Number six, that's the inside out pressing kick. So with this one, toes are up. Go ahead and thank you, sir. And go ahead and do the whole combination if you would, sir. So nose, solar plexus, and again, either chin or temple with that crescent. And the striking point on the foot with that, just so everybody understands, is the outside of the heel. Okay, so when you're coming up and through, that's what you want to focus on striking either the chin or the temple with. Okay? Number seven, we've been through the round kick and the side kick, but let's go ahead and demonstrate it anyway. Spinning back fist with the first two knuckles, knee-high round kick, set it down in front, and then again, getting that foot in position on chamber for the side kick. So what we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to go through them again, and I'm going to ask you to put a bunch of reps in there. We're going to go on a time frame here instead of a count. I'm going to ask you to work on these, especially the ones that you have to know for your next belt test. And if you don't have to know, if you're a higher belt and you don't have to know for your next belt test, you need to cover them all, because it reinforces that in your brain. So when it comes time to use them, they're there. So I'm going to ask you to take 5 minutes and to work reps on those, okay? And really focus again on chamber and foot position. Okay, everybody. I hope the combinations went well. Remember, practice, practice, practice. Not just practice, but focused practice is what makes the difference. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about forms. I'm going to ask you to practice your testing form if you have one, okay? And the forms, we don't have them on this video. I've got them on another video, actually some other videos that we've got on our page, okay? And I don't have anything above basic 1 through 3 and advanced 1 yet. The other ones will be coming shortly, okay? Hopefully we get those done tomorrow. That shouldn't be a problem. But I do want you to practice your form. And we're going to talk about how to practice. So first, if you don't have a form yet, if you practice basic form 1, it's a great thing to do. Number 1, it gets you ahead of the curve. One of the biggest issues when you're testing for purple belt is when you have a student that doesn't know basic form 1, they don't know the stances very well or the turns, okay? It's a real issue. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to follow the video and to take your time. One of the best things to do when you're doing the video, if you haven't done a form before, is to focus on the footwork. You know, like basic form 1, first thing we do is we turn to the left and we go to a front stance. Then we step forward and we go into another front stance. And that lead leg turns to the other side and we go into a front stance. Just to kind of understand the footwork, okay? So if you follow the footwork first, it'll be very beneficial, okay? And only do half the form. That's what I usually tell people, low block, or to the left, to the right, and then up the middle, then stop. That is a great way to start, because really once you've got that down, you've got half the form down anyway, okay? Really, you've almost got the whole form down, because it's just a repeat. So, that's the best way to practice it. And then when you get good with that, practice the hand motions. For everybody else who has forms, like I said, if you're on advanced form 1 or basic forms 1 through 3, refer to the videos now, and hopefully by Tuesday, the 17th, we'll have the other videos up sometime in the afternoon. But anyway, take some time, practice those videos on the forms. And here's the thing, 1 time doesn't get it. 2 times, 5 times is not enough. My suggestion is that you go through the form 10 times. Okay, 10 times. And focus on stance, technique, and power. STP, we talk about it a lot in the classes. STP, stance, technique, and power. Those are what make your form look good and make it good enough for you to pass. Okay, so let's take a good 10 minutes anyway, at least, and practice those forms, all right? Thank you. Hi again, everybody. I hope that the forms training went well. Hope you focused a lot on that stance, good posture, solid blocks and punches and kicks. From here, we're going to work on some sparring techniques, okay? Now, the type of techniques we're going to work on today are Olympic-style sparring. So that means that we're going to be focusing just on legs, okay? On the kicking motions. So if you have a partner that can work with you right now, it is very helpful, very, very helpful. So what I would suggest is if you can get that partner, that's great, because you can work together like Mr. Wall and I are going to work together, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with what we call feints. And what feints are, just like, it's kind of like fooling somebody, okay? It's kind of like faking them out. And feints are very important in sparring because they help create openings for you to attack your opponent, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start from our sparring stances, and we're going to do just a very basic knee feint, okay? It looks kind of like a kick. So I bring it up, and he thinks it's a kick, so he backs up a little bit, okay? And so he brings his back knee up, and I think it's a kick, so I back up. Does that make sense? So we're going to work this a few times back and forth. 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? And that's a great drill to start with. So my suggestion is you start with that, and then, let's say you get in 10 reps, okay? 10 reps on that one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add to this, okay? And again, this is a very basic type of sparring drill, but it's a good sparring drill. First thing we're going to do is like we just did. We're going to bring the knee up, the feint, and then I'm going to throw a round kick to the body. And then I'm going to let that leg drop in front, and Mr. Wall is going to do the same. Feint and a round kick, okay? We're going to recenter, and we'll do the same. So I feint, round, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to work that back and forth like that, and we're going to do that, and we're going to ask you to do that 10 sets. That means you do 10 and your partner does 10. If you have a partner, if you don't, then you do 10. Now, I'm going to ask you to do that twice. That's off the same lead. That means if I start with left leg forward, and I start with my right knee feint, and do my left round kick, I'm going to do that 10 times. And my partner would do it 10 times. Then we're going to switch. Okay? So now I'd work left knee, right round kick feint. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. Make sure you keep safe distance. If you have a partner that doesn't want to do the drill, just a second. We usually tell people, hey, pads are great to have at home, but you can make your own. This is my jacket. I can hold it up here, and he can do a round kick on it with his right leg. And it gives him a target. It protects me. It gives him feedback, which is huge. Okay? And you can use pillows. If you got pads, you can use pads too. But it's good to have something to strike. Okay? That way it gives you that physical feedback. All right? So, we're going to ask you to go ahead and run through those. And then, so pause this now and run through those, and then we'll see you in a minute. How'd the drills go? I hope nobody got kicked. So, we're going to move on to something that's very similar. Okay? We're going to start from our sparring stances here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same start, but I'm going to turn it into kind of a side kick feint. And so I bring it up here, and then I drop here, okay? So it's a feint here, and then I'm going to slide back, okay? Feint, set it down, and slide back. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire the kick, because when I do the feint and I don't do anything, hopefully my partner comes in. And so then I can fire my side kick to my partner, okay? Now, obviously we don't want to hit each other with this drill, so we're going to keep extra safe space. But we're going to work this back and forth. I'm going to ask you to back up a little bit more, sir. So I do my feint, let it drop, slide back, and then I do my side kick here. Okay? Now Mr. Wall will do the same. So he does his feint, side stance, slides back, and then he does his side kick. Okay? Now, that's a basic way to do that drill. But I want to show you something that makes it even better, okay? Now what we're doing is we're doing it in a very basic fashion. We're landing in a wide stance. We're kind of working from wide stances. So we're going to start with our front stance like we did. I'm going to do my feint, let the foot drop, slide back. But when I slide back this time, I'm going to go into a back stance. And the reason I'm going to do this is because when I'm in this back stance, I don't have to take as big a step to hit my opponent. So we're going to reset. We're going to walk through this again. I come up, chamber up, let it drop, okay, and I slide back. Now if he comes in, I can really be quick with that lead leg side kick from that position. Because a lot of times what happens is we do this chamber, we slide back, and we're very wide. And so I have to step up in order to do the side kick. It's slow. Okay? So I want to be quick. So I want to try to have those feet close together. So we're going to run through it again. I do my feint, slide back, inside. Okay? Keep the feet close. Start from a back stance position so you can push off and into your target instead of having to take a step and move in. I hope that makes sense. Keep safe space. It's a fun drill. Everybody can do this drill. I know the footwork on the second part's a little trickier. You really have to pay attention to balance. You might not get it, you might. I don't know. But give it a shot. Okay? So, I'm going to ask you to take 5 minutes to work on this, and we'll see you shortly. Thanks for coming back. I hope the drill went well. That footwork, like I said, is kind of tricky, but you can get it with practice. Also, you can get it if you have somebody watching you. It'll help you pick it up faster, because if you tell them what you need to do, and they try to help you line up your feet in good position and your weight in good position, it'll make a big difference in how you pick that up, how quickly you pick it up. So now we've got one more drill we're going to work today. And this one is kind of an interesting drill because we're trying to draw a kick out from somebody with this drill. So what we do is we're going to start from our sparring stance here. And now we both got left leg forward, so we call this what is a closed stance. And what that means is if he switches his feet, if Mr. Wall switches his feet, his body is open to my power side. And with that we call an open stance because it's open to my power side, which would be here, okay? So in a closed stance, we both have the same foot forward. In an open stance, we don't. Now he has left foot and I have right. So from our closed stance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an opening for him, okay? Trying to draw him out. So what I do is I create an opening for his roundhouse kick by switching, okay? So I'm going to switch my feet. And then if he wants to throw a roundhouse kick, go ahead, sir. I'm open for it, okay? And he's much more likely to score. But I have a plan, okay? So when I do the switch, he might go to throw his roundhouse kick. I turn and I do my back kick, okay? I do have an arm blocking, but I turn and I fire that back kick to try to get to his body, okay? And the great thing is he's also got one foot in the air, so maybe there's a chance I might knock him down, which is even better in sparring, okay? So again, we start from left leg forward. I do my switch. He throws his roundhouse kick. I block, and I throw a back kick, okay? We'll do that a couple more times, all right? So I switch. He throws his round. I turn, back kick. One more time. And that's how the drill works. Now, again, you don't have to have a partner to do that. If I just want to do the switch, turn, look, and fire the back kick, that's great. Now, if you haven't done a back kick before, all you're doing is you're turning to your back leg. So if I have right leg forward, my left leg is back, I want to turn towards that leg. So I'm going to look over that same side shoulder, turn, keep looking until I can see my target. And then from there, I'm going to fire the kick straight back, okay? One more time, I'll do it this way. So if I had left leg forward, I turn to my right, because that was my back leg, and that's the leg I'm going to kick with. I look over my right shoulder, and I kick straight back. And then I want to try to bring my body around after I throw that kick. Another thing with the back kick is when I do the turn, we'll go right leg, when I do the turn, before I throw the kick, I want to bring my knee up. That chamber is really important for power. So knee comes up and back. And then I just rechamber it and turn. Did I miss anything?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ball. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to practice that. Make sure you work both sides. Like I said, you don't have to have a partner. If you do have a partner and they don't want to do the drill with you, you can always, like I said, you can always use a pad, pillow, jacket, whatever, okay, to give them something to strike. Just make sure when you hold, you don't hold it directly in front of you. Hold it out to the side so you don't get hit. Okay? So let's take at least 5 minutes and practice that drill. And we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you. So how'd the back kick drill go? I hope it went well. Trick to that is, keeping your body up so you don't lose your balance and getting your eyes around, seeing your target. All those things are really important. So that's all we have today. So we're going to close. But I do want to, number one, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Also for understanding everything we're going through with this mess that's in our world right now. And things will get better. In a few weeks, we should be back to normal. But do appreciate you watching. Please send your feedback. We look forward to seeing it or hearing it. Videos are best. Okay, and you can send it to our email, or you can leave it on our Facebook page. You can message it to us also if you don't want it publicly out on the Facebook page. That's fine. Thank you.
Students and staff, I miss seeing you guys around. I hope things can return again, but continue to keep practicing, and things will get better.
Yep. Yes. See you in a few weeks in person. Thank you. Trip? Hey, consamblea.